Right resolution this time, so that's good. Before we start, people have been asking about submitting just their computers and not the entire setup. Now, my problem with that is I don't want two separate shows going on since I'm finding that handling just the one already takes up a lot of time. Also, it would look like I'm copying Ed from TechSource and that makes me awkwardly uncomfortable. For now, I'm just going to be taking the setups, and if I feel like I can streamline my process a little more and cut down production time, I will probably look into adding that onto the end of this show as kind of a bonus. Or if I get fired. I'll have a lot of free time if I get fired. I don't want to get fired. Starting off episode 3 of Set Me Up, RadioSnake slithers on in. His PC sheds some light upon his gaming environment. You know, cause Snake sheds skin. It consists of the i5-6600K processor cooled by the Hyper 212 EVO from Cooler Master, the EVGA GTX 1060 SSC graphics card, 16GB of PNY Anarchy RAM, that's a fun word to say, the MSI Z170A Pro Motherboard, and a 500-watt power supply from EVGA, all inside the NZXT S340 case. Snaking our way out from his computer, his peripherals include a 24-inch Asus Monitor, a 32-inch 720p Emerson TV he uses as a secondary display, Logitech G105 keyboard, Corsair Scimitar mouse on the SteelSeries QcK Mousepad, some Logitech speakers, and the SkullCandy bass-boosted headphones. Other things you'll find around his setup include a Fallout wallet, some bottle caps for a little extra Fallout vibe, a few Xbox controllers, and lastly, the Xbox One console, hiding right under his PC. Just for side notes, he mentions that his cable management isn't top-notch, but he does plan on getting a cable box and cable sleeves in the future, so that's definitely something to look forward to. He's also looking into getting a new keyboard, desk, monitor, speakers, and phone. If you want to submit your setup after you've made your adjustments, I would love to see it again. Thanks for entering, Mr. Snake. I can't wait to see what you do with this in the future. Next up, we have Panic, a nickname he picked up in the military. His PC, wrapped in the gorgeous Phanteks Eclipse P400 case, consists of the i7-7700K processor, cooled by the Corsair H105 Extreme all-in-one water cooler, accompanied by Corsair's HD 120 RGB fans, Asus GTX 1070 Strix graphics card, 16GB of HyperX Savage Black RAM, two 1TB hard drives, one 120GB Apotop SSD, a 500GB Samsung SSD, and an 850-watt power supply from ThermalTake. His peripherals include two 1080p TVs, one 40-inch from Philips, and a 32-inch from Element. Then he's rocking almost a full Logitech deck, including the G910 keyboard, G502 mouse, G933 wireless headset, and C920 webcam. You'll also find the SteelSeries XXL Mousepad, Saitek X52 flight controllers where he's in the process of creating a removable mount to attach the controllers to his desk, and the Bose wireless Soundlink mini speaker. Among the remaining items, you'll see his eFest LUC V4 battery charger for his e-cigarettes, a bottle of Jameson Irish whiskey, Don't Drink, and Game of Thrones USB drive, and also a Game of Thrones statue, a shelf of gaming/anime/awesome things, a Halo sword that lights up, and a longboard mounted on the wall. He had a 4K Samsung panel, but it was damaged when he recently moved. That poor panel is as broken as my heart is. He's using a recycled corner desk, but don't panic, he plans on refurbishing it soon. He intends on ordering cable mod cables to better match his computer's blue color scheme, and eventually plans on running a custom loop. He did request some tips in his email, so my biggest suggestion so far is to keep those cables under racks, with an IKEA Signum or a cable raceway. A cable channel for the wall would also do you some justice. Anything on the desk that you don't use super frequently could be potentially stashed away in the drawers to the left. There's also a red and black case for something or another in between the wall and the drawer that could probably be parked in a better spot. My last suggestion for now would be to push the monitors together to eliminate any gap between the panels. Other than that, I can't say anything else until you finish your updates, but everything looks great so far. Thanks for entering and thank you for your service. Our next guest is Nicholas, who uses the i5-4460 processor and Asus GTX 960 Strix GPU inside of the Cooltech K3 Evolution case. If that seems a little outdated to you, don't worry, he'll be rising up, back on the streets, with two GTX 1080s and an 1800X processor soon enough. On his IKEA Malm desk, you'll see his Corsair K70 RGB keyboard, Corsair Saber RGB mouse, a second mouse, the Razer Deathstalker Black Edition, Turtle Beach traction mousepad, the Razer Kraken Pro headset, three 24-inch AOC monitors, a wireless Qi charger for his Samsung S7 Edge, and the Audio Pro add-in T9 Bluetooth speaker. And he's drilled a hole in his desk for super clean cable management. He did ask for suggestions to improve, but he said his PC is covered, so I'll leave that to his discretion. His cable management is spot on and everything looks clean as a whistle. My only suggestion would be to center the speaker for better symmetry and a potentially better sound experience, and move your Qi charger over to one side or the other depending on which hand you use to frequently access your phone. While I did say I'd leave the computer out, I see that your setup is primarily red and black, yet we have that blue fan stealing the spotlight. If it were me, I'd replace it with something that either matches red or doesn't have any lights at all, and take the blue one out back, if you know what I mean. Some LEDs under the desk might look nice too. Think of it as setup under boob or something. But other than that, I have nothing else to add. The setup looks super clean and my eyeballs feel blessed. Thanks for entering, Nicholas. Philips' punchy setup features the Pan-Chi case, where he packs an i5 6600K processor clocked to 4.8 GHz, cooled by the ID Cooling FrostFlow 240L water cooler, the GTX 960 GPU, Corsair Vengeance RAM with those poppy red LEDs, all on the MSI Z170A Mortar motherboard. His epic RGB-themed setup includes a bunch of Razer peripherals like the Death Adder Chroma mouse, Black Widow Chroma keyboard, and Firefly mousepad. Under his 23-inch Acer monitor, you'll find his Sensonic speakers with the subwoofer acting as a monitor riser, and Star Wars figures as well as a couple of wooden models. I have no idea what these are actually called. He uses his machine for gaming, general daily use, and some photo and video editing. His setup is pretty clean and his cables are all tied down. It's a handsome station. Thank you for entering. Our last entry for this video is Brian. His case is the Phanteks Enthoo Evolve Tempered Glass Edition, housing his i5 4690K processor, cooled by Corsair's H100i V2 water cooler, 8GB of G.Skill RAM, the EVGA GTX 1070 superclocked graphics card, 240GB SanDisk SSD, 1TB Western Digital hard drive, and the NZXT Hue Plus for extra aesthetic appeal, all attached to the Gigabyte GA Z97X SLI motherboard. Peripherals include the Corsair K70 Rapid-Fire RGB keyboard, Logitech G502 Proteus Spectrum mouse, Corsair Polaris MM800 RGB mousepad, the Eclipse RM14 speakers, SMSL-Q5 Pro amp, the Philips SHP9500 headphones with the V-Moda Boom Pro microphone attachment, and 2 displays, a 40-inch 4K Samsung Smart TV, and an Asus 24-inch panel. Other adorable things include my spirit animal, Fox, Toonlink, King Dedede, and Mario amiibos, a picture of him and his girlfriend, EVGA posters, a Samurai Jack painting, and an RGB strip for the back of the desk. Considering he's in a college dorm, this is definitely one way to make the best out of your darkest days. Either that or I did college really wrong. Good luck with your studies, and thanks for entering, Brian. So those are all the submissions I have for this one. If you want to set me up for Set Me Up, check out the description below and follow the directions. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe, share, leave me questions if you've got them. Patreon link is in the description if you want to help support the side projects like these. Thanks for watching. My name is Steven and I am a little dim. Bye bye. 16GB of PNY Anarchy RAM. That's a fun word to say. But he does plan on getting a getting. Next up we have Panic at the disco. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. Cooled by the Corsair H105 Extreme All-in-One water cooler, accompanied by... I should have put a comma there. I read these before I do these, and I still miss things. G502 mouse, G9 Saitek X52 flight controllers, where he's in the process of creating... I ran out of breath. I don't know e-cigarette stuff or vape things, so like I don't know if I'm saying this. Is it Luck? Is it Luke? Is it LUC? I don't know. Cooled by the ID Cooling FrostFlow too many Fs. Black Widow Chroma keyboard, and Firefly mousepad. Freaking Firefly. Fly or fly. 240GB SanDisk. This Dexia. And the NZXT Hue Plus for extra aesthetic appeal. Yeah. Box, Toonlink, King Dedede. What?